Welcome back to the channel. My name is Vic and I'm a painter in Gloucestershire in the UK. Thanks for joining me today here, and we're going to be taking a look at a painting I did a couple of years ago actually. So this is the painting in question. To dive straight into it. It's an acrylic on board, and hopefully I'm shooting this in slightly higher definition, so you'll probably be able to get a bit more detail on this video perhaps than the previous ones I've done. And it hasn't actually got a name, this, but I just want to kind of walk you through the painting, or talk you through the painting. I've just noticed something quite funny actually. People think because you paint you know everything about the painting, which is absolutely true, but sometimes when you leave something and you come back to it, you can forget something quite basic. I've just realised I've got top written up there in pencil, which is quite funny. Mind you, having said that, I've signed down the bottom, so it's a bit of a giveaway. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, this is on a canvas board. Now I don't use canvas boards that often actually. I don't use them that often for a couple of reasons. It's difficult to get good quality canvas boards, but I mean, you know, it's an excuse, you can do really. But it does mean to say canvas boards do need framing. And so when I sell work generally, I just sell the painting. I don't frame work ready for selling like that, ready done. So they kind of, you know, do need a bit of foresight. So if somebody buys one of these, you do need to actually make the effort and get it framed. And let's face it, 9 times out of 10, it's sort of people, the best will in the world, they buy something and it sits over in the corner, gets forgotten, doesn't eventually get done. So that's why most of the paintings I do are ready to hang. So I don't use these that much. I prefer to use an actual canvas, a chunky canvas or a board ready to hang. Anyway, so going back to this painting, as I said, this is in acrylic. There's a nice mix of colours on this one. I'm going to zoom you in here, so hopefully you'll be able to get a good look at the colours. I can't see the screen at the moment, what we're looking at, so I'm kind of working blind here. So hopefully I'll show you something of interest as we go through. Now, it has got a lot of colours on this, and colours that you wouldn't necessarily think would kind of go together. In particular greens, and the green is a funny colour actually. Now I've used green not that much in it, but I have used it down here and I have used it here. The green's a weird one in that although it's a perfectly natural colour, you know, in nature, green in paintings or in art never seems to go down very well, certainly not in abstract anyway. Obviously if you're doing a landscape where that's a different scenario, but if you're doing like a composition in abstract form, using green is something I rarely ever use. And I think if you kind of look around, certainly museums and stuff like that, I think you'll struggle to find many paintings that use green in an abstract painting. Anyway, this is a fairly basic painting. It's kind of simple and complex in the same way. So I've used, as usual, I kind of just use objects that are around me really. So I've used just my trusty beaker. I've got an old 1970s Tupperware beaker that I use to draw around here. That Tupperware now gone kaput, haven't they? Which is a bit of a shame. So I'll be holding on to my Tupperware beakers to the year dot and treasuring those. And then I've actually used just obviously rulers to go through. So what I do like doing with paintings, as you know, kind of linking the whole thing together. So although I've got the circles here, this one you've got a line transitioning, if I can say it, right the way through there. And it's kind of quite dramatic actually. This is a bit kind of calm on this side, but you've got a lot going on here. Now I think I just discovered these acrylic pens when I started to do this. So if you look especially down here, you can see I've done some of that with acrylic pens, some of the highlighting, some of the whites on that to kind of bring out those kind of action-packed bits and bobs there. So it's a bit of a mishmash. I have actually used acrylic paint, but it is mixed with acrylic pen. And I have used some silver acrylic pen on that as well. I don't know if the light's going to catch that at all. Light as usual is not in my favour, unfortunately, but you might be able to catch something on that. Hasn't got much of a texture, it's quite smooth, but the design itself is quite complex. Again, you see I've highlighted this line there in white, which is quite unusual. And the essence of this painting really, I suppose, I think I was kind of thinking about, I don't know, I like, if anybody knows me, well, I've got a passion for aviation, big passion for aviation. I've also, one of my other passions is radio. I listen to kind of shortwave radio, and I like radio as a medium anyway. And I kind of think this reminds me of kind of like almost like an oscilloscope, if anybody knows what that is, you know, where you kind of interpret radio waves, and you can actually see them on an oscilloscope, kind of the frequencies and things like that. I guess if I had to give this a name, it would probably be frequency or something like that, because it's like kind of these are oscillating. They start off over here, and then they go through this object here, come out the other side, and obviously they're completely different. They're kind of exaggerated. So that's the impact the circle has had on it. Whereas on this one, it's kind of met that circle there, but maybe because of composition, it's not come out the other side. It's kind of blocked it. And I think that was kind of my thinking behind it. I think that's the kind of way I was thinking with that. This is quite unusual. I've done quite a lot of mixing on this here. So the browns here, so I've got some browns, these golden colours that I've actually mixed onto the canvas and kind of blended. Browns are weird. I have a love-hate relationship with brown. There's a colour called raw umber. I actually like the colour, but it doesn't like me. And whenever I try to use it, you've got to be really, really careful, because if you don't use it right or don't get the mix right, it just kind of separates. It doesn't kind of blend in with the other kind of colours. And it's one of those things that I kind of have to be in the right frame of mind to do it. And if I'm in the right frame of mind, it goes absolutely fine. But if you think about it too much, you kind of get a bit of a mental block using it, kind of thing. It just doesn't kind of work. It's worked absolutely fine in here, but it's something I will use. It's kind of a love-hate relationship, if that makes sense. Probably won't mean anything, probably a load of rubbish, but it's something I don't use that often. I do use the red, absolutely love red, love blue, as you'd have seen on other videos that will come out. I use that quite a lot for impact. And red is kind of, by tradition, red is very kind of exciting colour. It's kind of vibrant. If you look back historically, kind of thing, red was quite very kind of a bloody colour, I guess you could say. So it kind of, injected kind of, in some cases, excitement, violence, whatever, into old paintings. So I kind of use red in that way, really. I don't use it, say, sparingly. I suppose here I've used it kind of sparingly in a way, just to kind of go around these kind of edges and things like that, just to kind of pick up and kind of exaggerate them, make it a bit more kind of dramatic, if you like. But I kind of quite like this painting. This side it's actually, it looks kind of grey, but this is actually like a very dark blue. This is, I don't know if you're going to pick it up on the camera. It's a very dark, what is the colour now? It's Prussian blue. And Prussian blue is a colour I absolutely love. And it kind of, I've done a lot of paintings where I've just used Prussian blue and white, and like transition from one to the other. And if you use it on its own, it's a really, really nice colour. So it's probably one of the few colours I will actually water down. If I want to paint in Prussian blue, I could quite happily fill a canvas with Prussian blue. And you can get some really, really lovely tones with it, and it's quite dramatic. I always call it, it doesn't show up in this case because it's too dark, the background, but if you get it on its own with a white background, it is very, very dramatic. I call it, it sounds really stupid, I call it a tragic blue, because it really is very imposing, very atmospheric if you use it right, kind of smoky. You can get some really nice kind of effects with Prussian blue. I absolutely adore it. At the moment, I don't know why, but I'm really struggling to get it. It's a colour I usually have on hand. I usually have about 6 colours that I always paint with. Prussian blue seems a bit like gold dust at the moment. Don't know why. Probably the pigment has got harder to come by. I'm not too sure. But Prussian blue, that's a good one. And yeah, kind of primary colours, really. Most of my paintings do really just feature primary colours. I'm not huge on mixing colours, because I don't really know why that is. I think I've always just liked colours that are a bit larger than life. So primary colours kind of jump out of the canvas at you, don't they? If you see somebody dressed in like primary colours, like really, really bright, they stand out. And I like things like that. And I think I started mixing a lot of colours, which is something I don't do that often. It just kind of mutes everything down, which is probably okay. It depends on the type of painting you're going to do, but I like really, really bold colours, exciting colours. A painting should be kind of exciting, something you enjoy looking at, and you should kind of want to go back and take a second look and think, well, hang on a minute, why is that like that? Or, why is that red there? Is it trying to kind of exaggerate that? Is it highlighting something? Or is it kind of linking that to that? Is that in front of the red? Or is that I don't know. It just makes you think. That's why I like using really, really bold colours. Anyway, there we go. So if you can suggest a name for this, you're more than welcome to drop a comment below and let me know. I think something like frequency or something like that. So let me know what you think about this one. So it's not a very big painting, actually. I'm going to say it's probably about 14 inches by 10, something like that. And I think I did this did I do it for exhibition? No, I couldn't have done that, actually. I didn't do anything in 2020. So I just did it in a series of paintings that I was doing, really. But yeah, quite enjoyed it. It hasn't got any texture. It has got a finish on it. I think it's got it's got a matte finish, actually, like a matte finish, matte gloss, matte varnish. And so it's not ultra shiny, which is absolutely okay. I think I did that mainly because I've got metallic there. I wanted to try and show metallic up, which it can kind of pick up. I don't know if it's going to pick up on the camera. Anyway, there we go. So let me know what you think about that one. So as usual, if you want to give this video a bit of a thumbs up, that would be mostly appreciated. Thank you very much. Feel free to share it or have a chat about it, or say what a load of old rubbish it is. So, so I don't know, really. I'm just showing you what I do, so I can't really judge. I can't really judge it myself, to be honest. I just paint. I'm just the painter. So if you want to drop me a comment or suggest something or tell me something you do or don't like, you're more than welcome to do so. I'll get back to everybody. I always enjoy chatting. So yeah, if you want to drop a line, I always get back to you. So thanks a lot for your time today. I hope you've enjoyed having a quick look at that, and maybe consider subscribing to the channel. That'd be absolutely super. And yeah, look out for videos come out every Friday, and they stick around online till, don't know, I don't know what they do, they just hang around there, I suppose, for infinity. So there's lots and lots of videos coming out every week anyway. So once a week you can tune in. So thanks a lot for your time. I'll see you in the next video. In the meantime, you take care, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.